Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at something I think you'll find really interesting.
Yeah.
The future of English. Specifically, what changes are happening in the language right now and what they mean for you.
Yeah, it's such a fascinating topic, and it's something that affects literally everyone who speaks English.
And that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
Our main source material for this deep dive is this
this is going to be fun.
podcast episode about trends in English, and I think you're going to be surprised by some of this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I was when I first heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, for our listeners who maybe haven't really thought about how English is changing,
Yeah.
what would you say is the biggest thing happening to English right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that English is becoming a truly global language.
Global English.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're moving away from this idea that there's one standard way of speaking English.
Oh, yeah.
The Queen's English or American English
Yeah.
or whatever. Because now you have over 1.5 billion people speaking English worldwide,
Wow.
but only like 400 million are native speakers.
That's mind-blowing. I had no idea.
It's crazy, right? So that means most English conversations are actually happening
Oh, wow.
between non-native speakers.
That's wild. So, like, if I'm in, I don't know,
Yeah.
Italy, and I'm talking to someone in English,
Exactly.
they're probably not from.
There's a good chance they're not a native speaker.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's becoming more and more common in all sorts of fields, like international business,
Oh, sure.
education, travel, you name it.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
if everyone is speaking English, but they're all speaking it
Right.
a little differently, does that mean that, like, a correct accent is becoming less important?
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
Really?
Yeah, because the focus is shifting more and more towards clear communication
Okay.
that everyone can understand,
Right.
regardless of their accent.
That makes sense.
It's less about sounding like a textbook and more about getting your message across effectively.
So it's kind of like how we use English is more important than
Yeah,
how we sound, I guess.
precisely.
Huh.
And actually, the podcast we're looking at mentions this really interesting study where researchers analyzed
Okay.
business conference calls, and they found that the number of distinct accents,
On these calls.
had tripled in just a decade.
Oh, wow.
So that means you're more likely to encounter a wider range of accents in your own life, too.
Even if I'm not traveling international.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of things like the internet and global communication.
So global English is really changing things.
It is. It's really changing the soundscape of English.
Okay, so for someone like me who maybe wants to get better, understanding all these different accents, what can I do?
Well, this source recommends exposing yourself to as many different accents as possible.
Oh, okay.
So you could try listening to podcasts from different countries
Okay, I like podcasts.
or watching movies with diverse casts
Yeah.
or even checking out international news channels.
Ooh, okay, so like BBC.
Exactly, yeah.
Al Jazeera.
Things like that.
Okay, I can do that.
It's all about training your ear
Yeah.
to become more accustomed to the different ways English is spoken around the world.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've talked about global English, but there's another big force shaping the future of English.
Oh, yeah.
Technology. I mean, is technology killing English or
Well-
what's happening there?
That's a big question a lot of people are asking.
Yeah,
But, it's not as simple as saying technology is killing English.
right.
It's more like technology is changing how we learn
Okay.
and how we use it.
How we use it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's
Okay.
get into some specifics then.
Okay.
Like, texting abbreviations, LOL, burb, gonna. I use those all the time.
Me too. It's like a whole new language.
But is that bad?
Well, it's interesting because it's making our communication a lot more informal,
Even in
professional settings.
sometimes, it's blurring the lines a bit. And then you have AI assistants like Siri and Alexa.
Oh, yeah.
They're actually subtly changing how we structure sentences.
Really?
Yeah, because we're getting used to asking them questions
Right.
in very specific ways to get the information we need.
Like almost like a computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
So it's training us to be more concise and direct with our language.
oh, that's interesting.
So technology's influence is pretty pervasive.
Okay. But on the flip side, though,
Yeah.
is anyone else worried about autocorrect making us all worse spellers?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think we've all been there.
It's like I rely on it way too much.
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
But are we becoming too reliant on technology?
Well, the source we're looking at emphasizes that even with all this technology, strong writing skills
Okay.
are still essential.
Okay.
AI can help with basic tasks like grammar and spelling.
Right.
but it's human creativity, nuance, and storytelling abilities that really matter. I guess that makes sense.
So technology can assist us,
Yeah.
but it can't replace the human element of language.
Okay, well, that's good to hear because I was getting a little worried.
I understand.
So we've talked about how technology is changing how we write and speak.
Right.
But what about the way we use language in like formal settings?
Oh, that's changing too.
It is.
Yeah, the podcast we're discussing mentions how formal English seems to be
Okay.
on the decline, even in professional settings.
Really?
Yeah, like, for example, instead of starting an email with "Dear Sir" or "Madam,"
Yeah.
it's more common now to just say "Hi" and the person's name.
Hmm.
And even the phrases we use in meetings are becoming less formal.
Less formal, like
Yeah.
how so?
Well, instead of saying, "I would appreciate your response at your earliest convenience,"
Oh, yeah.
you might say, "Let me know when you have a chance to look this over."
Huh. That does sound a lot more
No.
natural.
Exactly. It's all about finding that sweet spot.
Sweet spot between.
Yeah. Between being respectful
Yeah.
and approachable.
Okay, so like formal English isn't going away entirely.
Not necessarily, but it's evolving.
It's evolving.
Yeah.
Okay, but is there a risk that we might lose some of the nuance and precision that formal language allows?
That's an interesting point, and it's worth considering. But I think what we're seeing
Yeah.
is not necessarily a loss of nuance,
No.
but rather a shift in how it's expressed.
How so?
Well, like in the example I just gave,
The email one.
right? The core message is the same.
Right.
You want the person to respond,
Okay.
but the tone is more conversational.
Okay, so it's like
Yeah.
we're adapting our communication styles
Exactly.
to match the fast-paced digital world we live in.
Precisely. It's all about efficiency and clarity.
I never thought about it that way, but
Yeah.
that's actually really interesting.
It is. It's a reflection of how our lives are changing.
Yeah. Okay, well, this has been really enlightening so far.
Good. I'm glad.
But for someone like me who's
Right.
trying to navigate this new professional world, what's
Yeah.
the best way to approach this? Like, how do I find that balance?
Well, it means that it's more important than ever to learn natural professional phrases
Okay.
that strike that balance.
Between.
Yeah. Between formality and friendliness.
Got it.
So think about phrases that convey respect
Okay.
and clarity without sounding too stiff or overly casual.
Oh, okay.
This podcast actually suggests paying attention to the language used by successful communicators.
Oh, so like
Yeah.
learn by example.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Notice how they strike that balance.
Yeah,
And try incorporating similar phrases into your own repertoire.
got it. Okay, that's a great tip.
Oh, so.
Okay, so we've talked about global English and technology's impact, but there's another trend that I find really exciting,
Don't tell me.
and that is how English is constantly
Yeah.
evolving with new words and
Yeah.
expressions popping up
All the time.
all the time.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like language is alive.
It really is.
It's breathing.
Yeah. It's constantly changing.
And it's like, reflecting our collective experiences.
Exactly.
Okay, so get ready for some examples.
I'm ready.
FOMO,
Okay.
binge watch,
Yeah.
deep fake,
Uh-huh.
crypto. These words didn't even exist
I know.
a few years ago.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
And now they're part of our everyday vocabulary.
I know. And it makes you wonder what other
Yeah.
new words are out there just waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. And it's not just new words either.
What else?
It's new phrases
Yeah.
and new ways of using existing words.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like how? Give me an example.
Well, like adulting.
Oh, yeah.
That word didn't exist a few years ago,
Right.
but it perfectly captures a feeling that a lot of people experience.
That feeling of like
Yeah.
being overwhelmed by the responsibilities of adulthood.
Exactly. And now it's a widely used word.
Okay, so new words,
Yep.
new phrases,
Uh-huh.
and what else?
Oh, and new meanings for old words.
Oh, yeah, like
Yeah.
lit.
Exactly. Or sick.
Yeah, sick used to mean
Right.
like you're ill.
Yeah, now it means something's awesome.
It's totally different.
It's fascinating how language adapts
Yeah.
and evolves over time.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about global English, technology,
Yeah.
new words and expressions.
Uh-huh.
But there's another crucial aspect of the future of English
Oh, okay. What's that?
that I think is often overlooked,
Okay, I'm intrigued.
and that is listening.
Listening.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more.
As English becomes more global and accents become more diverse,
Right.
our ability to listen effectively is
Right.
becoming more and more important.
That makes sense.
It's not enough to just speak clearly.
Right.
We need to be able to understand different accents,
Yeah.
speaking styles,
Okay.
and cultural nuances.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And I think a lot of people struggle with this.
Oh, for sure.
I know I used to get so flustered when talking to someone with a strong accent.
Yeah,
I felt like I was missing half the conversation.
I get it.
But the more I exposed myself to those accents,
Right.
the easier it got.
Yeah, it's like anything else. The more you practice,
Yeah.
the better you get.
And it's like training your ear
Exactly.
to tune into those subtle differences.
Yes, it's like learning to appreciate a new genre of music.
Oh, I like that analogy.
It takes time to adjust your ear, but once you do,
Yeah.
you can start to appreciate the beauty and complexity of it.
Okay, so how can we get better at listening?
Well, this podcast episode actually offers
Oh, cool.
a really interesting technique called shadowing.
Shadowing.
Yeah, you listen to a speaker
Okay.
and then repeat what they say,
Oh.
trying to mimic their pronunciation and rhythm.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a great way to not only understand accents better,
Okay.
but also to improve your own pronunciation.
Oh, wow. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Exactly.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, yeah. And the podcast also suggests watching movies
Oh.
or TV shows in English without subtitles.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It forces you to rely solely on your listening skills,
Yeah.
to follow the plot and understand the dialogue.
Oh, I should try that.
It's a great exercise.
Okay. I'm adding that to my list.
Good.
Now, what's funny is I used to think learning English was all about textbooks and grammar drills.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the traditional methods.
Yeah,
Done
but
right.
this conversation has really opened my eyes to how technology is
Yeah.
changing the game.
For sure.
And I think we should talk more about that.
Definitely.
But we'll have to save that for part
That's
2 of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
So we'll be right back after a quick break
All right, see you soon.
to discuss how technology is changing the way we learn English.
Awesome. I'm excited to dig into that.
Me too. It's going to be good.
I think so.
All right, we'll be right back.
See you then.
We were talking about how important listening skills are,
With the rise of global English.
right?
And I think technology plays a huge role there too.
How so?
Well, think about how much we consume audio content these days.
Oh, yeah, tons.
Podcasts, audiobooks, online courses.
I mean, I practically live in my headphones.
Me too. It's like our ears are constantly learning.
But how is technology actually helping us learn English more effectively?
Well, it's opening up so many possibilities.
Like,
We're seeing a surge in language learning apps
oh, yeah.
like Duolingo and Memrise.
Oh, yeah, I love those.
They offer these gamified experiences
Right.
that make learning fun and addictive.
It's true. I find myself wanting to keep going.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a brain workout.
And it's like having a language tutor in your pocket.
That's a great way to put it.
Have you tried any of those apps?
Oh, yeah, I've tried a few.
What do you like about them?
Well, I find it fascinating how they leverage AI
Okay.
to personalize the learning experience. For example, some apps use voice recognition to analyze your pronunciation
Oh,
and give you real-time feedback.
it's like having a personal pronunciation coach.
Exactly. And that's something a traditional textbook could never do.
No way. It's incredible how technology is making language learning so
Yeah.
personalized.
It really is.
And it makes me think about AI's role in language learning
Right.
beyond just pronunciation.
Yeah.
We're also seeing AI-powered tools that can analyze your writing and provide grammar suggestions.
It's like having an editor in your pocket.
Totally. Have you experimented with any of those?
Oh, yeah, I have.
What do you think?
I'm really impressed by how these tools can identify patterns in your writing
Okay.
and give you personalized feedback.
That targets your specific weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, so it's like a
Mhm.
custom-designed language curriculum.
It is. It's really taking personalized learning to a whole new level.
That's amazing. And then there's the rise of online tutoring
Oh, yeah.
and language exchange programs,
Right.
which are also being transformed by technology.
It's true.
It's amazing how platforms like italki and Verbaling
Yeah.
connect learners with native speakers all over the world
All over the world.
for real-time conversation practice.
It's really incredible.
It's like a global language exchange
Yeah.
right at your fingertips.
Right.
And it's not just about practicing your speaking.
No.
It's about those interactions.
Yeah.
Exposing you to different accents,
Right.
cultural nuances, colloquialisms.
That's so enriching.
It really is.
You know, it's like you're getting a cultural immersion experience.
At the same time as you're improving your English.
Exactly.
So it's win-win.
Absolutely.
I think that's fantastic.
It is. It's really exciting to see how technology is breaking down geographical barriers.
Yeah.
And making language learning more accessible to everyone.
Okay, so for anyone listening who's learning English, take advantage of these incredible advancements in technology.
They can really make a difference.
They can accelerate your progress and make the journey so much more engaging and enjoyable.
For sure. And it can help you connect with people from all over the world.
Yeah, but as we said before, the key ingredient is still our own commitment and dedication.
Absolutely.
No matter how sophisticated the tools become, your effort and consistency will ultimately determine your success.
That's the bottom line.
And that's something that no app can replace.
Exactly. It's about taking ownership of your learning.
Yeah. Okay, well said. I think that's a really important point.
I think so too.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into the future of English, I have a thought-provoking question for you.
Oh, I like those.
How do you think technology will continue to shape the English language over the next 5 to 10 years?
That's a great question.
What new words, communication styles, or even learning methods do you think will emerge?
Well, I think we're going to see even more personalized and immersive language learning experiences.
Interesting.
You know, powered by AI and virtual reality.
Oh, wow. Like, I can picture myself stepping into a virtual world and practicing my English with avatars.
Exactly. Or attending virtual conferences and workshops.
Oh, wow.
Led by AI-powered language tutors.
So the possibilities are really endless.
They are. It's really exciting to think about.
It is, and it kind of feels like we're on the cusp of a new era.
I think so too.
In language learning.
Yeah, it's a really transformative time.
I'm excited to see where it all goes.
Me too.
You know, it's funny. I used to think learning English was all about textbooks and grammar drills.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah. But this whole conversation has really opened my eyes to how technology is changing the game.
It really is.
So, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think technology is making language learning more accessible, more engaging, and more effective.
More effective? Like how so?
Well, for one thing, it's giving us new tools and resources that we've never had before.
Like what?
Like language learning apps.
Right.
Online tutoring platforms. AI-powered writing assistants.
Yeah.
All of these things are making it easier than ever to learn and improve our English skills.
Okay, so we talked about language learning apps in the last part.
We did.
But I want to dig a little deeper into what makes them so effective. Because I've tried a few myself.
Yeah.
And I'm always amazed by how they can make learning so personalized.
Exactly. It's like having a custom designed language curriculum.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is the use of AI.
Oh, absolutely.
Like some apps can analyze your pronunciation.
Right.
And give you real-time feedback.
It's incredible.
It's like having a personal pronunciation coach.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's not just pronunciation.
No.
There are also apps that can analyze your writing and provide grammar suggestions.
It's like having an editor in your pocket.
Yeah, totally.
It's really impressive how these AI-powered tools can identify your specific weaknesses.
Yeah.
And help you improve them.
Okay, so we've got personalized pronunciation coaching.
Yeah.
We've got AI-powered writing assistance. What else is technology doing to make language learning more effective?
Well, it's also connecting us with other learners.
Okay.
And native speakers from all over the world.
Oh, yeah, through online tutoring and language exchange programs.
Exactly.
I love those.
They're fantastic.
It's like you can have a conversation with someone on the other side of the world and get immediate feedback on your speaking skills.
It's invaluable.
It really is. And it's not just about the feedback.
No.
It's about those interactions.
Yeah.
Exposing you to different accents, cultural nuances, colloquialisms.
It's like a cultural immersion experience.
Yeah. It really enriches the learning experience.
Absolutely.
So technology is doing all these amazing things to make language learning more effective. But I think it's important to remember that technology is just a tool. It's not a magic bullet.
Exactly.
The key ingredient is still our own commitment.
Absolutely.
Dedication.
You can have all the best tools in the world. But if you're not willing to put in the effort, you're not going to see results.
No, you won't. And that's something that no app can replace.
Exactly.
It's about taking ownership of your learning.
Right. It's about setting goals and being consistent with your practice.
Well said. I think that's a really important point.
It is. It's the foundation of successful language learning.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive
Yeah.
into the future of English,
Right.
I want to leave you with
Fire.
a final thought-provoking question.
I'm ready.
How do you think English will continue to evolve in the years to come?
That's a great question.
What new trends do you
Yeah.
think will emerge?
Well, I think we can expect to see English becoming even more global,
Okay.
even more diverse, and even more influenced by technology.
So it's going to keep changing.
It's definitely not going to stay the same.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so fascinating.
It's a living language.
Yeah, it's constantly adapting and evolving.
And that's what makes it so exciting to learn and to use.
And I think that's a great note to end on.
I agree.
So thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the future of English.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, the future of English is in your hands.
It really is. So keep practicing.
Keep learning.
Keep exploring.
Keep connecting.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
keep having fun with it.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Bye.